You chatted up with Baker in the Heisman house at any point in time?
Whenever
Johnny?
we see each other, we still chop it up a little bit.
What's it like doing those spots?
Man, it's great. The Heisman guys in that fraternity and the people that are in there are just, absolutely amazing. From the older legends to the guys, who I played against or was around the same time, same age as me. So, it's a special experience to be able to, have a good laugh. They're all pretty funny to be able to, do those spots and for me, I love it. It's a blessing.
Who'd you meet that you were like, okay, that's pretty cool? And
Man, anytime you get a chance to be around like Bo Jackson or it's just a surreal experience, having, seen highlights of this guy, what he was able to do, what kind of player he was, just really off the map of just legendary status. So, anytime you see Barry Sanders walking around or ever run into him, it's pretty sick.
So another baseball guy who played as a hobby, right?
Just
just
as a
like
hobby.
you.
Yeah, just like me.
you.
Exactly. He had a little. I think the guy had more talent in his pinky than I did in my whole body.
I would go up to him, and he's been on the show before, and I wished we had more than just 15 minutes with him, with Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
So what do you talk about when do you go up to him? You pick his brain? You just sit around and just swap stories?
I think more than anything, just get a chance to go up and just check in, see how things are doing, just be able to swap some stories. Obviously, a little bit about, I try and obviously ask about, some legendary times of things that you've seen him do and pick his brain and see what it was really like.
On the field or off the field?
Yeah, I mean, definitely on the field, I think, for the most part.
I'm just trying to dig in there and see what you guys talk at the Heisman house, just walking around where there's Dez, there's you, there's Baker, there's Eddie George walking around. There's all these guys walking. Do you ever talk about whether they voted for you or not? Does that ever come up in a conversation?
Maybe, in the year that I won it, maybe sometime around then when you're first getting a chance to meet the guys and stuff. But, after that, I think we're more on to like current topics that we talk about, more about who they're watching this year, who they think they're going to vote for this year, and just, seeing kind of who we're going to welcome in next.
Who do you think?
Man, obviously Travis Hunter's having a great season. He's the favorite right now. I really think that it's, what Ashton Genty's been doing at Boise State has been, as impressive as it gets week in and week out, just putting up absolute numbers in a clinic and, has Boise State and a real chance to be able to make it into the playoff this year.
It's amazing you just mentioned two players who don't play quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? So which quarterback do you think should at least get to New York? How does that sound?
I think probably Cam Ward. I think the way he's played at Miami this year, the way he plays the game of football, I think he's a guy that's probably deserving to be in New York. They've had some close games and close calls that he's really, played well enough to dig them out and really get them some wins in some situations that maybe, they didn't deserve.
Yeah, I mean, just watching him in the final 5-10 minutes of a game, it's unbelievable some of the things that you're seeing him.
Yeah, no, the Virginia Tech game was one where he really, kind of willed them back into that win and didn't look like they were going to get it done. So, just the effortlessly, he plays football really effortlessly, right? You see him out there, it just looks like he's kind of floating, makes it look pretty easy.
And listen, no disrespect to Ashton Genty or Cam Ward or any of the other quarterbacks. Watching Travis Hunter doing what he's doing, that's like a unicorn. You know what I mean? Like playing 100 snaps at least. I mean, that's a minimum. I might be undercounting the number of snaps that he plays in a game, right?
Yeah.
And the plays that he makes that changes a game on either side. Yep. I mean, he's playing more offense than Charles Woodson ever did.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean? Like
we haven't seen anything like this. We haven't seen anything where a guy's playing 100 snaps a game, 50 and 50, and really making an impact on both sides of the ball. And I think you just see it, almost every single week. This guy's just, he's going to be something special, especially when he gets to the next level, I believe, too.
Do you think he can do that at the next level?
I mean, that would be the first time that we've ever really kind of see that. I think as you get into the NFL and as you see with these guys, they're probably, you might have some packages or a couple, formations or something that you would see putting him in at receiver, but I don't think it's a full-time thing that you can really do at the next level.
You don't think so, huh?
No, I don't. Do you?
I think Dion is building him for that purpose. I think Dion is definitely 100%. I can't wait to get Prime on the show in the next couple of weeks to basically just pick his brain on his thoughts on it. I think he thinks the kid can do it, if I had to guess, and that the kid probably wants to try it.
Yeah.
The only question is he going to have a coaching staff that would allow it. Or
it's just so
or
physical.
Foster it in the same way that Dion is doing right now, because Dion's fostering it right now, and you could see the results. But there's more grown-ass men at the next level.
It's definitely a more physical tolling, game at the next level to be able to go and do that and put that many snaps on your body and be able to, do it on both sides of the ball, time in and time out. I think would be it would be tough. But I think if anybody's got close enough to being able to do it, it's definitely him.
Yeah, I think Dion is probably creating him in this lab with the idea of at least attempting it, and at least telling some coaches, when he's at the combine or in these interviews, to say, hey, I want to try it, and maybe a team might pass on him for that, but I doubt it. I doubt. He's so incredibly talented. I would vote for him for the Heisman. Is that who you would? I know you're counseled not to say these things publicly, but go ahead if you want.
I mean, I think vote for? I still want to kind of, I let the whole regular season kind of play itself out. But no, he's definitely at the top of the list right now with him and Genty. I think are neck and neck. It's every single week checking the box score on kind of both of those guys and being able to see the highlights and kind of what they put out on film for the week before. But two guys who are I think neck and neck.
You ever cross paths with Prime, Johnny Manziel?
It's been a while. We did in the past. My family's in Dallas.
Sure.
He was in Frisco. So every now and then run into each other. We've always had a good relationship. If we ever run into each other, he couldn't be more nice, couldn't be more great to me, and always has been since probably 2012.
Johnny Manziel here. Everybody catch his new pod, Glory Days, every single Thursday. You can listen to new episodes, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, produced and distributed by Almost Friday Media. A couple more minutes left with Johnny right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.